All right, here's our next example, example number 6. We have the quadratic trinomial 3n squared minus 19n plus 20. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that my quadratic trinomial is in standard form, so that means my squared term needs to be at the front, which in our case it is. It's 3n squared, and that constant number is either added or subtracted onto the end. In our case, we have the constant positive 20. My next step is to go ahead and multiply that leading coefficient with the constant number on the end. So in our case, I'm going to multiply 3 and positive 20 together, and then I'm going to list off factors of that number. So that's what I'll do off to the side here. So I have positive 3 times positive 20. That gives me a positive 60. So I'm going to list off all of those factors of 60 that when I multiply them together, it will give me back a positive 60. So my first choice could be positive 1 times positive 60, that will give me positive 60. Negative 1 times negative 60, remember negative times a negative is a positive, so positive 60. I'm quickly going to list off the rest of these. Positive 2 times positive 30, and negative 2 times negative 30. Next one would be positive 3 times positive, positive 3 times positive 20. Also, negative 3 times negative 20. Then I'll have positive 4 times positive 15, and negative 4 times negative 15. Getting close, we have positive 5 times positive 12, negative 5 times negative 12, positive 6 times positive 10, and negative 6 times negative 10. And there are all those factors of 60 that when I multiply them together, it will go ahead and give me back a positive 60. So now I need to go back through that list, add them together, and figure out, okay, which pair of factors added together actually gives me that middle term there, negative 19. So starting at the top, 1 plus 60, that's 61, doesn't work. Negative 1 plus negative 60 is negative 61. Nope, I'm looking for a negative 19, remember? 2 plus 30, 32, not what I'm looking for. Negative 2 plus negative 30, that's negative 32, still not it. 3 plus 20, that's 23, still not it. Negative 3 plus negative 20 is negative 23, nope. 4 plus 15, that's 19. Oh, that's close, but remember we want a negative 19, so that's not it. Oh, but negative 4 plus negative 15 gives me negative 19. So those are the factors of of 60 that when multiplied together give me positive 60, but when added together give me negative 19. So again, this part's where it gets different. I need to split apart negative 19 into those two factors. My first factor was negative 4, so that's negative 4n. My second factor was negative 15, so that's negative 15n. Notice, again, if I combine together negative 4n and negative 15n, that would give me back the negative 19n that I started with. That's why we're able to break it apart like that. Now, I need to go ahead and just write those front and last terms down. So in the front, I still have 3n squared. At the end, I still have plus 20. Now I need to group my problem basically in half. So my first set of parentheses that I'll group together will be 3n squared minus 4n. My second set of parentheses will be negative 15n plus 20. Again, for some, this next step gets a little bit tricky. I need to divide out common factors here. So looking in my first set of parentheses, well, the only number that can divide 3 and negative 4, that's only going to be 1. Only 1 can divide those numbers. I see that they have an n in common, so I can at least divide out an n there. So I'm going to go ahead and write that term in front of a set of parentheses, a new set of parentheses. So now I have to divide here. So taking that 3n squared, dividing it by 1n. Well, 3 divided by 1 is still 3. N squared divided by n leaves me with just n. Moving next, I have negative 4n divided by divided by 1n. First dividing negative 4 divided by 1 is still negative 4. N divided by n will cancel out, so I don't even need to write that anymore. Moving into my next set of parentheses, well, I really want this first number to become a positive 3. So in order to do that, I need to take negative 15 divided by negative 5. Also, 20 is still divisible by negative 5. So I'm going to go ahead, write that term in front. It will be a minus 5. Setting up another set of parentheses there, I'm going to divide out that negative 5. So starting with negative 15n divided by negative 5. So negative 15 divided by negative 5 gives me 3n. Okay, remember I still have an n there. Then taking positive 20, dividing it by negative 5, well, that will give me a negative 4, or minus 4. Remember, you know you're on the right track if those terms inside the parentheses match. So I'm going to write those together as one common term. That is 3n minus 4. And then I'm just going to take these other terms, that 1n and negative 5, and I will write those together in a separate set of parentheses. So that will be 1n minus 5. And there you have it. We have factored that quadratic trinomial into 3n minus 4 times the quantity 1n minus 5.